Let's go to Chapel Hill, see what's happening. I think she's there. There she is.
There she
Abby,
is.
first of all, appreciate your time and congratulations on the national championship.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
And we're going to get to your story, which is cool, but, you go UCLA to North Carolina, parents are Jamaican. I mean, it feels like you got an international flavor going on here. You've been all over the place.
Yes, I definitely have. First gen.
Which is really cool. Okay, we'll talk about that national championship first, because I think, and you come in as a transfer, like Pac mentioned, from UCLA, and you come to Chapel Hill, and then it boils down to you and an ace. And I think we have the video, and in that moment, your ace is the one that clinched the indoor title. What were you thinking in that moment and feeling in that moment? And were you able to even, here it is right here, process it when it happened? Because maybe for a second it was like, did this really happen? I don't know.
Yeah, so funny story. When I was at UCLA my freshman year, when COVID hit, that 2020 National Indoor Championship did happen, and we lost to UNC for their first, I think it wasn't their first indoors, but it was their first of the 4 in a row. So I was obviously heartbroken in that final, but when my teammates came to the door that was right in front of me while I was playing, I knew that I was the last match, and it just so happened to be that I had a match point, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go for this big serve up the tee, full heart, can't lose moment, and it worked out in my favor. And so I was extremely excited and extremely happy. Throughout the week, I was just like so grateful to be a part of this team and to have Brian Calbus and Ty Thompson as my coaches. And then when my teammates came and hugged me and we all celebrated, it was one of the best feelings I've ever had.
So why North Carolina? I mean, obviously the Heels have had great success, and you're doing your thing at UCLA. And I mean, listen, I'm sure you had a gazillion opportunities to try to figure out which direction to go into, but why North Carolina?
So I'm a Raleigh native. I live about 25 minutes from here. It's where I grew up. And I had a brother who was diagnosed with leukemia about almost 4 years ago. And I was at UCLA at the time, and it was my senior year. I was finishing up. I finished up over there in 3 years. And then my brother was just about to finish treatment. And that was my main driving force coming here to North Carolina. You know, of course, Brian Calbus is arguably one of the best coaches in the country, and he's created one of the best cultures here at North Carolina. This Carolina family, of course, attracted me here, but my brother becoming healthy and me wanting to celebrate with my family was, I believe, my most important driving factor.
Very cool.
Yeah, your brother's name is Luke. What did Luke think about you coming home? I know you wanted to be here, but what did he think about you coming home?
Luke was super happy. I think that he missed, coming to tennis tournaments, believe it or not. He's somebody who grew to kind of envy those kids who had the normal life and didn't have to travel with their older siblings to all these athletic events. But I think he did miss coming out to matches, and he'd never seen a college match before. And when we played our, I believe, second home match here against App State, that was his first one that he's been able to come to since he got sick. And that was a really special moment for me.
Can't beat family, can you? I mean, at the end of the day, it's really what it's all about. Championships are cool and all that stuff, but there's nothing better than family, especially when you can share those experiences.
Exactly.
As far as tennis goes, and I can just tell you up front, I am a terrible tennis player. I mean, I am an absolute, my wife refuses to play with me, Abby, because I go back to my golf days and I try to hit all these cut shots and spins, and she's like, would you just please hit the ball over the net? So she has finally just kind of disowned me on the tennis court. I've now banned from tennis facilities with her. So give me the nuances of tennis, of why it appealed to you growing up, because you've had such great success.
Yeah, so I started playing actually due to a video game. So I was playing Wii Tennis. It's what comes with the console, and I was playing for hours on end. And my dad actually asked me, like, hey, do you want to actually play like the real thing? We can sign you up for some tennis lessons in the area. And I was like, of course, like I would love to try it. I'd been playing soccer, golf, gymnastics, and swimming at the time. So I definitely wanted to add as many sports as I could to my roster because I loved playing sports. I was a naturally born athlete. We've got a lot of Olympians in my family, or a few of them, and then we have one NFL player. So naturally, everybody wanted me to play a sport of some kind. And yeah, then we just took it and ran with it from there.
Sort of weird. Wii Tennis for me did not translate to me being one of the top ranked players in the country, but it's fine. It's totally fine. We're all about Unity Week this week, which is part of the reason why we have you on, and UNC has said such incredible things about you. And part of that, you sort of mentioned it. You're first gen. Both of your parents are from Jamaica, so you're the first one born in the United States. And since we're talking about unity and opportunity and equality for everyone, how much does that mean to you to have this opportunity?
I think me coming to Carolina opens up a door for so many Black student athletes here, right here in North Carolina, specifically in this triangle area. And I think that I am the third Black person to ever play for this program. And to have that honor and privilege is just amazing, because I feel like I can open up so many more doors, and all the kids who come through the tennis programs, the junior ones here in the Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill area, will now see me here, someone that looks like them, and believe that they can one day get into a position like me.
Is there a pressure on you when you go to play, knowing that, or is it just like, hey, it's second nature, let's just go play?
I think that there's a little bit of a pressure for sure, just because, you know, the history of the program and holding that weight on me could be very pressure inducing, but honestly, I think of it as a privilege more than pressure. I think that that pressure is a privilege because there was only two people before me, and I know that if I got to know them and they could say anything to me right now, they just tell me to enjoy it and to pave the way for those who come after me. And, you know, Coach Brian gave me this opportunity, and I hope that someday other Black little girls and even Black boys, my brother is a Tar Heel tennis commit for this 2024's fall. So he'll play for Coach Paul, and he's one of very few Black men's tennis players to play for the program. So it's not only on the women's side. I want to inspire more Black children in general to play sports here at Carolina, because they deserve to be a part of this Carolina family that we have here.
It's very cool. By the way, who were your inspirations growing up?
I'd say my parents, of course. They're my number one inspirations. But I have a lot of cousins that played, whether it be professional or collegiate athletics. And one of them is Jonathan Linton. He played football here at Carolina, and he was on the team that I believe made the ACC finals in the 90s. And just hearing the way that he talked about his alma mater and the way he talked about collegiate athletics definitely inspired me not only to aspire to be a collegiate athlete, but to also come here to Carolina, especially once I finished up school at UCLA. And then just from a tennis player standpoint, of course, Serena Williams is one of my favorite players. I think she's my favorite female player of all time. And just seeing what she went through and the barriers that she broke just so that I could step on the court with my teammates and my other counterparts just is so inspiring and amazing.
Yeah, we talked about yesterday celebrities who we'd maybe want to interview, and I actually might add Serena to my list. I didn't think of that until you said that, but very true. You just mentioned your brother, who is a commit to come play tennis there as well. How do you push each other? Do you guys play each other a lot? Does he ever beat you? You beat him? How does this work?
Yeah, so when he was younger, I used to beat him all the time. I still have that mental edge against him, but he's a little bit too tall now. So he's got a lot of strength to him. He's going to be 17 in about a month or two. And so he's super excited to be a Tar Heel. I love the men's program here. I think that Coach Paul runs an incredible program and has for so many years. There's a reason he's in the Hall of Fame here at North Carolina. And so I'm excited for Matt to join that program.
Abby, what's next for you from a tennis perspective?
Yeah, so we're playing the Virginias this weekend. We start ACC play, hopefully outdoors, fingers crossed, pending weather. And I mean, honestly, my eyes are on May. My eyes are on the national championship, and ACC's is in late April. And I'm just really excited to compete in my first championships with the Tar Heels and hopefully achieve something great at the end of the year.
Off the court, the tennis court, you're pursuing your master's at this point. So what's in store in that direction?
So I'm concentrating in finance for my Master's of Business Administration here at North Carolina, and not entirely sure where I'll take that, but I think it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of the Keenan Flagler Business School here at Carolina, and just getting to be mentored by so many amazing people and having that community here is going to set me up for the rest of my life, whether I pursue professional tennis, whether I pursue something else. I mean, my options are endless.
By the way, a little name, image, and likeness, that little finance degree might come into play. We working on any NIL deals yet?
Yeah, so when I was in California, I definitely took advantage of that. And while I've been here at Carolina, I've tried my best to. I think that my biggest deal to date was probably with Buick, that I did a deal with them for about 6 months in 2022. They had a social media ambassadorship program, and it just happened to be the car that I currently drive. And so I think that that's the NIL deal that I'm the most known for.
I like it. Right? Nothing like having a car deal when you're in college now. That's a pretty sweet situation.
It definitely was. It was awesome.
I like that. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm looking for a car deal.
We didn't have any of that stuff.
Somebody hit me up out there. I'm looking for a car deal at this point.
Anyway, when I was on the golf team 100 years ago, we didn't have those kind of deals in place. It's all legit now. It's all above board. You can rock and roll now. This is sweet. Listen, congratulations on all your success. From a financial standpoint, I know you're going to hit a home run with all this stuff, but you've had great success in the classroom, championships, the whole thing, and you're still not done, which is the cool thing. So enjoy the journey. And again, cool story with your family too. And we wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.